Sydney. I feel rough. It was a 8-hour flight or 7.5 hours, something like that, and I didn't really sleep because I was sat upright in a chair, obviously. Used to the beds in upper. The few times that I've been in them have been lush, but yeah, I really struggled. Now I feel really weak, having like carried my huge rucksack through the town. Well, it wasn't far. I can see the station from where I am. But yeah, I'm in the hostel. I'm the first one checked in. Just gonna chill for a bit, and then I'm gonna go and find some food. On our first day together in Sydney, we did a walk through the botanical gardens and this war memorial. As you can see here, it's a bit overcast, and it rained, and it poured. But we got to see the sights of Sydney, and I got to see the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge and have a cool picture taken. And here we are on our way to Hunter Valley for a wine tasting, and we stopped at a chocolate factory or a chocolate making place along the way. In Australia, the coal trains are super long. This one went on forever. Big things are a thing. This was the biggest guitar in Tamworth, and then here we are doing bowls in the evening. We had a cool instructor called Ian. After a cold night and an early start, we were on our way again.
Reggie, everything the light touches will one day be yours.
So it's day 3 of the trip. We're just at a loo break as we're heading from Tamworth, where we stayed last night, up to Yamba, and we're going to stop at some waterfalls in a bit, so that'll be nice. It's absolutely freezing and the sun's out, so I don't know if I'll get in. But yeah, having a good time so far. A few of the guys were pretty brave and jumped in. I did not, but I managed to slip over on the walk back up the rocks and got covered in mud. Lovely. We had a few cool stops on our way to Byron Bay. This was Bellinger, it was really cute. And then we saw a giant banana, and we had some stunning views at our hotel. Good morning, this is the view from the hotel this morning. We've just woken up in, and we are just heading off towards Byron Bay. We're going to do some surfing. We stopped off for a cooked breakfast by the river, and then we were off to see Shawnee the Horny Prawny. We were just outside Byron Bay for our surf lesson in the morning, and this was something I was actually dreading, but I really enjoyed it. I didn't manage to stand up, but it was pretty cool, as you will see by my face in just a sec. After a night in our hotel in Byron Bay, we did sea kayaking, which was amazing, and we saw some whales, and they came so close to us. It was really cool.
Thinking of what it takes to live a life. Well, I looked across the one I knew 30 years ago.
Today we have been sea kayaking. Here's some of the guys in the group. And now we are at the beach and we're going to watch the sunset at the beach before we get ready to go out for the evening. So it's lush here. Amazing. Sky beautiful. We actually managed to see some dolphins out at sea, which I tried to capture in the next video, and you can just about see a tiny fin pop up at the end. After a great night out, we had a few stops on our way to Brisbane. In Brisbane we didn't have long, but we spent the afternoon, or a few of us did, at the Lone Pine Koala Sanctuary, feeding kangaroos, and we got to see some koalas and a few cool other Australian creatures. So that was a pretty good experience. In the evening we had a brief walk around the city and went to see the Brisbane sign. I really liked it. It was quite quiet and peaceful, and I think this is going to be somewhere that I head back to work. Next stop is Habitat Noosa, where we were camping outside, or kind of glamping in these nice tents, which we later realised were freezing. But we did some canoeing through the Everglades, and it was pretty relaxed. The next day, this was our transport over to Fraser Island, where we were going to be visiting Lake Mackenzie and doing some walks around the rainforest.
Now, on the island, guys, we sometimes see dolphins. Now, living around Fraser Island is the Pacific humpback dolphin.
Lake Mackenzie was absolutely stunning with the pure, or near enough pure, silica sand. It was beautiful. Yeah, I posed. Mum bought me this cool waterproof case for my phone before I went away, so here I am testing out its waterproof qualities. It's not the best video, but now I know it works. After our swim, we went for a walk through the rainforest, which is pretty cool. Fraser Island's pretty cool. It's the largest sand island in the world, and all of the rainforest grows out of the sand. That's pretty clever how it works. Here's a nice little creek that we walked alongside. And the next day we were heading up north on Fraser Island, and we came across a joy plane, and a few of us decided to jump on board and have a fly around. This This was amazing and such a great idea to do it spontaneously. I think if I'd thought about it too much, we wouldn't have gone, or I wouldn't have gone. But it was so worth going. The pilot did a few little tricks which made me scream because my heart went up into my mouth. But it was so cool. We got to fly over Lake Mackenzie where we'd been yesterday, and it was just as stunning from the air. On land, and we jumped back in the truck and headed to the shipwreck. Another day and another method of transportation. This time we were on an overnight train heading for Airlie Beach. It was long and uncomfortable, but we made it. With Sundays, yes. This was our boat, Siska, for the next 2 nights and 2.5 days. We sailed out, and I wasn't so keen on the way out, but by the second day I was feeling okay. So yeah, we had some stunning views in the evening, and then the next day we were heading to Whitehaven Beach, which was pretty special even on an overcast day. So last night I stayed in a boat and I did not enjoy it. The rocking was a bit blech. But today we are at Whitehaven Beach, and this is like a little secret beach off the side. Ooh, stunning. The sun is trying to come out. It wasn't out fully earlier and it's a bit cloudy, but very nice. So we've got another day on the boat. Everyone's going to do some snorkelling later. I'm not sure if I'm going to join in because we have another opportunity in Cairns to do it on the Great Barrier Reef. And then we head back to Airlie Beach tomorrow afternoon, Friday afternoon, and then I'll be skydiving. In the afternoon, a few of the guys went out and did their first bit of snorkelling on an area of the Great Barrier Reef around the Whitsundays. I didn't want to get in, but I got in a dinghy with a couple of the others that didn't want to get in, and we went out to where the guys were snorkelling, and I used my waterproof case to film these little clips. It was so cool. The guys got to swim with manta ray and see all these beautiful, colourful fish. After partying hard last night, we had a short trip over to an area where there was Aboriginal history. We saw some cave drawings, and then back on the boat back to shore. Unfortunately, skydiving was cancelled due to the weather, but hopefully I'll have another opportunity later in the year. Day 14, and we were making our way by train again from Airlie Beach to Cairns. We went out in the evening, had a nice little meal. This was a super cool day, so I actually got to go snorkelling on the Great Barrier Reef. We stopped at 2 places to jump in, and it was quite choppy, so I was getting thrown around quite a bit, so sorry about the stability of the videos, but I got to see some really cool things. I thought I would try and prove that I was actually in the water and do a little okay sign, but I was getting thrown around so much. It was so difficult. It was quite tiring being in the water for so long as well, getting thrown around, trying to video and not bump into other people. I managed to get some clear shots of some of the fish then, that's good. There's a cool like syringe looking one, there we go, and then I see Sophie. I really struggled to identify who the other snorkelers were, but I think this was Caitlin and Dan, the couple on our tour. I could just about spot Caitlin because of her beautiful red hair. This guy looks pretty cool, but he's got a bit of an evil streak, as you'll see. He headbutts my phone. Rude. Our last night together with most of the group was interesting. This was a wet t-shirt competition, and that was our guide Andrew. He gave it some. What a legend. On day 16 we left Cairns and we headed north towards Cape Tribulation, stopping off for a tour of the Daintree by an Aboriginal, which was very interesting. He gave us a few tips for when we would get to Cape Tribulation and showed us some of his heritage.
And they...
Having stayed in the rainforest last night, we did a little bit more exploring around the Daintree and Cape Tribulation. We spotted some wildlife. This was my first sighting of a giant spider. It's pretty cool. And this is a massive strangler fig that's fallen over and connected to another one to make like a curtain of strangler figginess. For our next night in the Tablelands area, we stayed in a place called On the Wallaby and we got to see a platypus. Day 18 and our final day together touring the East Coast. It's been an amazing trip. Today on our way back we stopped off at 4 different lakes / waterfall areas, and the challenge was for everyone to get in at all 4 locations. I don't know what Andrew's doing here, being some kind of penguin. But yeah, he's been an absolute legend throughout the whole trip and he's really made it quite special. He's full of energy and just really entertaining. So he's been great and the group have been great. Everyone's been really lovely. I've had such an amazing time and I'm so pleased that I did this 18-day tour to kickstart my time in Australia. There is a baby turtle just down there. So cute. So this lake was a volcanic crater and this is called Lake Etcham or Lake Etcham. And then this is Milla Milla Falls where Peter Andre did his famous hair flick. Here Andrew's showing the guys how to do the perfect hair flick for the photo opportunity. This was a place called Josephine Falls, which looked pretty dangerous. A few people got a few little injuries on their climb up, and some got a bit stuck on the way down. Oh my god, I didn't do it. I didn't do any of the waterfalls this day. I was quite enjoying being dry and taking pictures and videos of everyone, but it does look like they're having fun. This was a place called Babinda Boulders. It took them a few attempts to get that rope across and for everyone to climb up, but they did really well and looks like they had fun.
You can find your way home. I know you will find your way home.
Our final night together as a team, we've had some good laughs. This was supposed to be a dancing competition that a few of the guys got involved in, but it got a bit questionable after this, and the guy made us turn our cameras off. We weren't allowed to film what happens in Gilligan's, stays in Gilligan's. But yeah, I've had an amazing time, and I don't even know how to finish off this video, but I suppose, yeah, thank you guys, thank you everyone for an amazing trip, and happy travels. See you later.
Know that the days go